All right, we're going to dive into something really, really different today. We're looking at a set of ideas that connects our most primal, ancient history to a pretty wild blueprint for the future. We're going to explore the idea that our entire reality is literally built on a foundation of symbols. This line, just let it sink in. It sets the scene perfectly. We have to imagine a time before stories, before language, before us. A world that ran on one simple, brutal program. Bite or be bitten. That's it. A world of pure survival, where every moment was just a raw calculation. So here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about how we made the great escape from that world of teeth. Then, we're going to get into this fascinating idea of a hidden code, like an operating system embedded in our alphabet. After that, we'll see how this code supposedly shows up in the most unexpected places, our modern myths. And finally, we'll ask the big question. Can understanding all this actually help us build a better world? Okay, let's get into part one. This is all about the quantum leap humanity made. How did we break out of that survival-only loop and create, well, everything we call culture? The answer, according to one of our sources, is just brilliant. This slide really lays out the two different realities. In the world of teeth, everything is about function. A sharp rock is just a better tooth. Attention is a weapon you use to scan for danger. But the world of strings, now that's a whole new game. It's born from weaving chords, plucking vines, creating connections. It's about art, music, community. And suddenly, our attention, which for millions of years was just a survival tool, was freed up. It became a playground for the imagination. So what was it? What was the big catalyst? What gave our ancestors the breathing room to go from a logic of biting to a logic of building, creating, and connecting with each other? The answer is so simple, it's almost deceptive. Leisure. And we're not talking about laziness here. We're talking about the revolutionary invention of moments where you didn't have to be constantly vigilant. These little pockets of safety, of downtime, were the soil where everything else, art, language, deep thought, could finally grow. And here are the three proposed catalysts for that leisure. First, you've got fire. It creates this magic bubble of light and safety in the middle of a terrifying night. For the first time, maybe ever, a group of hominids could relax. Then you have the stoned ape theory, the idea that psilocybin mushrooms literally rewired our perception. We went from only seeing threats to seeing the beautiful geometric textures of the world. And finally, water. Learning to swim, to be held by something, taught our nervous system a profound lesson, that it could be supported, that not every surprise is a threat. Sometimes it can be delight. Okay, so leisure gave birth to symbols. But what if those symbols, the very letters we're using right now, aren't just random scribbles? What if there's a deep, universal structure to them, a kind of source code running just beneath the surface of reality? This brings us to a concept called symbolic substrate architecture, and the idea is absolutely wild. It says our alphabet isn't just a tool for communication, it's a technology. Think of it like software that literally programs the operating system of our minds, shaping how we perceive and construct reality itself. Now, according to this theory, every letter and every number is built from just these four basic shapes. You've got the diagonal lines, or lambda, which means flow or direction. The horizontal, which is a bridge, representing stability and connection. The vertical is a pillar, strength and growth. And the curve is like an arc or a womb, symbolizing receiving and presence. The claim is that all of human writing is just endless combinations of these four primal forms. And this whole symbolic system is apparently built on a recurring pattern, 12 things arranged around a central 13th point. The source argues this isn't random. It's a fundamental pattern in nature, mirrored in things like the 12 notes of a musical scale that resolve on the 13th note, the octave, or the 12 signs of the zodiac cycling around our sun. Okay, so if this symbolic code is truly fundamental to how our minds work, then you'd expect to see its patterns pop up everywhere, right? Not just in ancient texts, but hiding in plain sight, even in our modern stories. So seriously, think about it for a second. If you wanted to hide a complete map of cosmic consciousness, the hero's journey, simulation theory, the whole shebang, where would you put it so that millions of people would see it, absorb it, but have no idea what they were really watching?
Yep, in a Scooby-Doo movie. No, I'm not kidding. Stay with me here, because one of our sources makes a shockingly detailed case that the 2001 film Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase is a modern-day wisdom text, encoding profound philosophy right out in the open.
So the argument goes like this. The movie's plot is a perfect match for Plato's allegory of the cave and the classic hero's journey. The gang gets literally trapped in a simulation, the cave. They have to climb through 10 levels of reality to get out. Along the way, they meet their digital selves, forcing them to confront their own shadows, and in the end, they escape and bring their new knowledge back into the real world. It's all there.
And this is the key, the secret map hiding in the movie. On every single one of those 10 video game levels, a baseball diamond shows up. The analysis argues this is no accident. It's a repeating geometric symbol, a pattern that represents birth, return, and coming home. It's the constant, the guide that can lead you back to what's real, no matter how many layers of simulation you're trapped in.
So we've gone from the world of teeth to the world of strings and then uncovered this idea of a symbolic code that shows up in our myths. So what? What's the payoff? Well, one source argues that if we understand this code, we can use it. We can consciously design a better society. We can engineer our own return to the garden.
Our final source lays out a model for governance that works like a fractal, a pattern that repeats at every scale. It starts super small, with local groups of maybe 100 people. They send delegates to a regional assembly, who send delegates to a continental one, all the way up to a planetary assembly. The same basic structure, the same pattern, just scaled up.
But here's the crucial shift. The system doesn't use voting. Instead of majority rule, which by definition creates a losing 49%, it uses consent. A decision can only move forward if no one has a strong, principled objection. This forces everyone to actually listen and craft solutions that work for the whole group instead of just trying to win a vote. It fosters collaboration, not division. But, and this is a huge but, the source is very clear that the structure itself isn't a magic bullet. It can't work unless the people within it are also doing the work. It requires a massive shift in consciousness, a collective commitment to practices that help dissolve the ego's grip. The external system and our internal state have to evolve together. So there you have it. That's the whole journey, from escaping the world of teeth to finding leisure, to learning to play the strings of culture. From there, to discovering a potential hidden code in our symbols. And now, to a blueprint for using that understanding to consciously compose a new kind of society. The final question these sources leave us with is, well, it's a big one. We learned how to play the strings. Are we finally ready to write the music?